Hey everyone, this is Samaria. It is Friday, and I decided to do another check-in because I wanted to. um, so yesterday I talked about the fruit of rejection and how that impacts a person and how to get free. However, I wanted to continue on with that vein and talk about signs of insecurity. So, rejection and insecurity are like cousins, they're very much related. However, they're not the exact same. One breeds the other. Once you have a spirit or a fruit of rejection, it breeds what we call insecurity or uncertainty within yourself or another person. So, let's talk a little bit about this. Let's talk about, first off, what is insecure? What is insecurity? And then we're just going to talk briefly about signs and symptoms. The same way you get free from the spirit of rejection or the fruit of rejection is the same way you want to get free from being insecure. So insecure means uncertain, anxious, lack of confidence, self-doubt, timidity, and instability or instability. So what happens after the person has a fruit of rejection, that seed begins planted, or that, excuse me, after the rejection happens, the seed is planted, they don't get healed, and it continues to grow. And one of the fruits, the after effects, kind of like when you take medication, they say look out for the side effects. This is what we call side effects. So the side effects are a person who is insecure. Okay, and so when you got a person that's insecure, you got a root of rejection. Okay, but they're like very related, but they're still very different. So we're just briefly going to go over signs and symptoms. Like I said, if you want to know how to be free from it, look at that yesterday's check-in because I talked a little bit more. And again, there's so much information. I've written entire books about this, so I'm going to give you a few tidbits. I'm not going to be able to really go into a lot of depth as well because it's a heavy topic. Okay, it's one of those topics that we address in inner healing. And believe it or not, every person has some area of insecurity. Listen to me. Every person has some area of insecurity. Now, as you grow and you evolve, you just kind of get over it, and there's certain things you want to change, but it doesn't become an insecurity for you. Okay, so let's talk about this. How do you discern when a man or woman is insecure? So first, I'm gonna start with the women. I don't want the guys to think that I'm being so hard on them. So I'm gonna start with the women first, then we're gonna go to the men. Anyway, how do you know that? So in a woman, signs and symptoms, real brief. One, defensive, authoritative, and controlling. And a woman is very authoritative and controlling. I'm not talking about she's in a position of authority. I'm talking about her very nature is very controlling. You got to be around her all the time. And if you don't, very controlling in that sense. That is a woman who's experienced insecurity. And for those of us who are Christian, we call this a Jezebel spirit. One of the symptoms of Jezebel was that she was very authoritative, but she was controlling and she was manipulative. Okay, gets jealous very easily. A woman that is insecure, particularly your relationship with these ladies, guys, so you got to be careful about dealing with an insecure woman. She always has these things, these thoughts in the back of her mind that she's not good enough, and then you're going to leave her for someone else. Okay, now she's not going to say that. She's going to act it out. So if you don't call at a certain time, she'll say, "Oh my God, where we were? What happened?" Or if you don't respond a certain way, or if you speak to another woman, you could just be being friendly, or you can't have other female friends. Why? Because that person is insecure, so she gets very jealous. Belittles you in front of other people. Guys, do not deal with a woman who will belittle you in front of let's go back. Who will belittle you, period. But definitely don't deal with somebody who will belittle you in front of other people, okay? A woman who's secure in herself will build you up. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about friendships. If you're in opposites, you know what I'm saying? We can all be friends. We ain't got to be whatever. But someone that belittles you, makes fun of you, puts you down, stuff like that, guess what that is? Insecurity. Anyway, constant needs validation, makes you feel guilty or insecure. Emotional manipulation. A woman is insecure. Now, women, we are naturally more emotional than men. We were just created that way. We're mothers, we're nurturers, whatever. But when a person's insecure, they're manipulative. They can turn on them tears in a minute. And it's not really because they're upset. They just know how to work your emotions. Okay? Anyway, overreacts, whole bunch of drama, always holding a grudge, always talking about some other woman, what she doing, what she not doing. You know, it's people like that on Facebook. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know this kind of whatever, but if you are constantly worried about what someone else is doing, and girl, she thinks she all that, and you don't need the other person, or you know what I'm saying, you always got an issue, particularly with another woman or somebody, you're probably insecure. I'm just saying. Someone is always at fault. Whenever somebody is never willing to take responsibility, because we all make mistakes. Let's be real. We all make mistakes. But being able to humble yourself and say, listen, I'm really sorry. I made a mistake. I was wrong. But anyone who can't admit their mistakes, or if they apologize, but they kind of half apologize, well, I'm sorry, but if you didn't do X, Y, and Z, insecurity. It is hard to be in friendships, relationships with someone that is insecure. That's why people who are insecure are alone. Okay. What else? Okay. Encourages your failures. You have to be careful about this one. People, kingdom-minded people, when someone is not vested in you, they don't want you to be successful because they're afraid you may grow past them. Someone that's really for you, friendship, business partner, they're rooting for you. They'll say, go for it. They'll help you out, even if it's not their thing. Okay? So, okay. Needy, very emotionally needy, wrecks your life. Or, this is another one, has dreams and visions, but meets somebody and just just leaves it all behind. That's insecurity. When you are really who you are, you meet people who come alongside you and run with you. You don't have to give up your purpose and your destiny to be with somebody. Now, this is really important, because I talked briefly about an Ahab spirit. I've done a lot of study on that. So, but what happens is, for my brothers, when you leave a woman or you are no longer in relationship, friendship, but really romantic relationships, and you have been in a relationship with a woman who has insecurity over a long period of time, and you leave that person, what happens is that woman can rob that man of his masculinity, creating a spiritual Ahab. I'm going to say that again because it's kind of deep. When a man, has left a relationship with a woman who had been controlling, manipulative, was insecure, it robs him of his masculinity. We call it emasculating that man. And it creates a passive man. We call that an Ahab spirit. So if you have experienced anything like that, no judgment, get help, go to counseling, go before the Father, because that is a real spirit. Insecurity is a spirit. Okay, so now let's talk about the men. Y'all running out of time. Men. Okay, so a man is insecure. We're not gonna be man bashing today, but I'm just gonna give you some brief tidbits. Some of these things you already know. We talk a lot more about men being insecure than women, but understand that both men and women are insecure. And it comes from, again, the fruit of rejection comes from a root. And in our healing, we dig deep, and we dig deep, and we pull out that root. And I said before, we got to identify what it is first, then we uproot it. Okay, for men, when you deal with a man who is insecure, he has no outside interest. No outside interest other than you. Girl, run. He need to have friends, other relationships, other good, female friends. To me, in my opinion, other just good, generally friends. But he ain't got nobody, no friends, and you in his world. Girl, don't do it. No strong male role models. Very important. I believe men need to hang around other strong men, particularly in this world. We're dealing with a world where we've been raised in what we call a fatherless generation. Okay, and so you need other male figures. But if you got a man, all his friends are female, and he doesn't have any strong. Now, having males around you, but having strong males around you are two different things. Okay, jealous of your friends, always talk about why you always got to hang out with her. She ain't nobody. She just jealous of our love. Tries to isolate you. Okay, passive. How many times I gotta say passive? Can I say passive one more time? Let's say passive. Watch it out. Okay. Thinks you have feelings for your ex, jealous, always accusing you. Why you speak to that man? What's wrong with him? You know what I'm saying? Intimidated by other men, but will accuse you constantly of sleeping with someone else. Needs constant validation. Stalks you on social media. We call this ghosting. Sometimes they stalk you on social media, so sometimes you gotta be careful who you friend. Okay. Because you got some social media stalkers. Let's be real. Passive again. Did I say passive? Can I say that one more time? Passive. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Falls in love too soon. Becomes emotionally needy too soon. You only hardly know this brother. He's in love with you. You ain't met about one time. Really, when you're really trying to establish some good relations, you can have good feelings about somebody, but you're not like in love, invested in them, and you just met them 6 hours ago. Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, makes you feel guilty. Eats up all your free time. doesn't want you to hang out with your friends, things of that nature. Um, Accusation, we said that emotionally absent, that's a big one. Someone that's emotionally absent or too clingy. When someone is emotionally absent, they get they just they're afraid to get close to you, so they keep you at an emotional distance. And you really got to deal with that, because I said before, you cannot establish relationships, friendships, business partners being absent. No one's going to deal with you like that. They're just going to leave you alone and let you isolate. Doesn't have a teachable spirit, very can't receive criticism. Now, I always say you gotta watch it's not what you say, but how you say it. You gotta come with an attitude, clapping your neck and clicking your teeth and being like, you better not ever. But you can have, but even if you tell someone something and you have a good spirit about it, they become very defensive about it. Like, you can't tell me what to do. Okay, well, never mind. Tries to prevent you from reaching your goals. Okay? Or can be indifferent or lack of protection. When you really have a good man, he'll be very protective of you. Not controlling, not manipulative, not smothering, but protective. Okay? But if he's not protective, a lot of times, or if he gets to the point where he's when it gets to the point where it's like a little bit like weird, either one of those. So why are these signs and symptoms present? Maybe you see them within yourself. Let's be real. Or maybe you see it within someone else. I think as a single woman as well, we have to be aware. Let's just say that. But again, wherever you are, it's no judgment. Make sure you get free. I'm a counselor. That's what I do. I help people to get free, and I love what I do. And as I said before, my testimony is God has freed me. And so I give you these tidbits not to be judgmental, but to say, hey, this is an area. And guess what? When you deal with it, you get to move forward into purpose and destiny. You get to walk in confidence. You get to speak. You get to talk. You get to meet people. All these things happen as a result of getting free. Okay? So it's not meant to be judgmental. All right, God bless you. Follow me, www.samariacolbert.com. And I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. And also, you guys, make sure September 1st, from pain to purpose, we're turning over these rocks. We're going to be in Wilmington, Delaware. We're minutes from the beach. We're going to have a good old time in the Lord. There is a word in the house. I'm so excited. I'm excited about the other speakers. I'm going to be there. Everybody going to be there. My book's going to be there. And I look forward to seeing you guys there, okay? All right, God bless you and have a wonderful remainder of the Friday. Bye.